One often overlooked yet potentially lucrative side hustle is flipping treasures you found from garage sales to turn a quick profit. All across the country, there are hidden gems just waiting for someone with a keen eye and the know-how to come along and give them a fresh new life. As cliche as it might sound, there is a lot of truth in that old adage that one person's trash is another person's treasure. Serial entrepreneur Gary Vaynerchuck, or Gary Vee, is known for his hustle and has dozens of multi-million-dollar businesses under his belt. However, he started small with his very model of garage sale arbitrage, finding rare items and flipping them online for a profit. Gary Vee has devoted much of his time and energy to sharing his experience with garage sale arbitrage on his popular trash talk blog and video series, mostly to help aspiring side hustlers to get their feet wet in this profitable field. The crazy part is, this guy has an estimated net worth of over $200 million, but he says he still gets a thrill when he's able to find a great item at a garage sale and flip it online for a quick profit. I think that alone is a huge sign that this is a side hustle worth considering. So in today's video, we're going to learn from the master and figure out how to do garage sale arbitrage like Gary Vee. This will include how to get started, where to find the best items, and what items you should always be on the lookout for. Once you've found those items, we'll look at how you can buy them for the lowest prices and sell them for the highest prices to maximize your profits. When all is said and done, you can potentially multiply your money several times over and turn the side hustle into a serious source of income. Let's get started. Preparing for the hunt. One of the biggest pieces of advice that Gary Vee has to give to garage sale novices is to get up early on Saturday mornings to start your hunt. To use another well-known cliche, the early bird gets the worm. Every minute counts because garage selling can be surprisingly competitive. If you want to increase your odds of finding the most profitable goods, you'll want to be one of the first people, if not the very first person, to sift through the wares at each garage sale. Gary Vee personally starts at 7 a.m., and breakfast is a must if you're going to power through those first few hours of the morning. This is because most garage sales start around 7 to 8 a.m., and you'll want to be there as soon as they're setting up shop. But before you rush out the door, you'll need to map out a game plan for exactly where you'll be going. Where to find the best items. To make the whole garage sale arbitrage process easier on yourself, it's good to know which sales you plan on hitting before venturing out. Print out a list of all of the addresses the night before you go, so you're not wasting your time trying to figure out where to go next. If you can, try to find multiple garage sales in the same area. A lot of times, towns and municipalities will hold community garage sale events where you can just walk from one location to the next. For example, every year during the first Thursday through Sunday of August, between Addison, Michigan and Gadsden, Alabama, the 127 yard sale takes place. This is actually the longest yard sale in the world, spanning 690 miles along US Route 127. It features thousands of vendors, making it hands down the most efficient place to start your garage sale arbitrage hustle. If you live in the area or want to have practically endless items to sift through, add this one to your calendar. Every June, a similar event known as the 400-mile yard sale takes place along US Route 68 in Kentucky, with hundreds of homeowners and peddlers laying out their tables and opening up the garages to the public to peruse through. But even if you're not based out of a region where it would be feasible to hit up one of these garage selling events, you can still find smaller, less publicized events in your area that could potentially be just as fruitful as these large-scale operations. Local community-based newspapers and social media are two great places to find out where garage sales might be happening in your area. And if you live in a smaller town, it may be worthwhile to travel to more populated areas so that you have a better chance of finding high-quality items. And for even better chances of finding profitable items, Gary Vee recommends narrowing your search to neighborhoods with median incomes or greater. By locating neighborhoods with high median incomes, you can find garage sales where more expensive items are being sold, and usually at a deep discount. Of course, this doesn't guarantee anything because you can definitely still find great items in lower income areas too. As long as you know how to spot valuable items, you'll be able to turn a profit anywhere. And that brings us to our next point, what items to look for. The best way to find items worth flipping while out garage sailing is to first have a good idea of what you're looking for. If you already have a bit of knowledge on what sorts of items are most valuable in a specific niche category, that's a great place to start. For example, if you're a sports buff, start with sports memorabilia. And if you have no idea where to begin, here's how you can do just a little bit of research to guarantee that you'll pick the right items. Most items you pick up will be sold online using a platform like eBay. To see what an item could potentially sell for, make a quick search on the eBay platform and then check the search filter that says show only sold items and completed items. This will tell you exactly what someone has previously paid for the item and the last time it sold. If you see a lot of recent sales for an item and you can get it at a garage sale for cheaper than it's selling for, you found a winner. But keep in mind that completed items also includes auctions that have ended, whether or not the items have sold. If you uncheck this box, you can see just the items that have actually sold. But by keeping it checked, you can also get an idea of what kinds of products failed to sell, which can be just as valuable for a garage sale flipper. When you first show up to a garage sale, here are some of the hottest categories of products to keep an eye out for. Retro video games and consoles, electronics, media like CDs, vinyl records, books, DVDs, or Blu-rays, power tools, musical instruments and gear, toys, bicycles, furniture, name brand clothing, leather goods, Pyrex pieces, and sports or fandom collectibles. So clearly there are a lot of items to profit on, even if you may think they have no significant value. Gary Vee once paid $20 for a bucket of Thomas the Train toys that he turned into a $175 profit. On another occasion, he bought 3 classic NES video games in their original boxes for $10 each, then sold them for over $300. Even if you have no interest in these sorts of items, there are entire communities of people out there who are willing to pay top dollar for this kind of merchandise. By familiarizing yourself with a wide range of product niches, you can learn how to quickly spot items worth scooping up when making your garage sale rounds. But at the same time, you don't need to rely on individual items to make a big profit. One of Gary Vee's biggest pieces of advice is to buy items in bulk, especially collection items like toys, books, and collectibles. You'll have more opportunities to make sales from buying in bulk, and you'll likely get better prices on those items when you buy them too. And speaking of better prices, let's talk about negotiation tips. When you're out garage sailing, it's always best to keep in mind that prices are almost always negotiable. Just because an item is tagged with a $10 sticker doesn't mean you can't walk away with it for $8. It's always worth at least asking for a better price. At worst, the seller will simply decline your offer and stick with their original asking price. And if they don't decline your offer, you've significantly boosted your profit margins just by asking. One point that Gary Vee often emphasizes is how a little kindness can go a long way. A seller is likely to be a lot more receptive to your request if you treat them with a little bit of respect, be polite, and smile. Just by showing someone a little human compassion, you can increase your odds of getting the deal you're aiming for. But to really improve your negotiation game, Gary Vee strongly encourages the use of silence as a negotiation tactic. If you ask a seller for a better price on an item and they decline, sometimes the best thing that you can do is nothing at all. Keep quiet for a moment and let them reevaluate how determined they are to get their asking price. They may immediately offer a lower price, especially if they know you're willing to walk away if the price doesn't budge. In most cases, the seller is just attached to the item, and it takes them a minute to realize that they do actually want to get rid of it, and getting a few dollars less for it is better than it continuing to gather dust in their home. Contrary to what you might think, giving lowball offers is not a great strategy. If you're going to negotiate, it's typically best to offer them at least 50 to 75% of their asking price and then haggle from there. Offering too little might just come across as insulting, which will more than likely shut the door on any potential negotiations. Selling tips to maximize returns. As we briefly touched on, eBay is one of the best platforms out there to flip your garage sale finds. When making your listings, you can either list your items for auction or set a buy now price. By making use of that sold and completed data, you can get a pretty good idea of what price to ask for your goods. If you choose to go the auction route, it's more likely that you'll make a faster sale, but you might not earn the full value of what your item is worth. So patience is key if you want to maximize your profits. By selling your items with the buy now option, you can maximize your earning potential. And that brings us back to the importance of having a decent sized inventory of items to list. By having multiple listings up at once, you can make consistent sales even if it takes a bit of time. Don't sacrifice higher profits just because you want to make a quick buck. However, if you do plan on making an auction listing, a good rule of thumb is that you will receive more attention on your item when it has a low starting bid, especially for valuable items. This can attract buyers early on, who may continue bidding on the item and generating higher bids as the auction progresses. For any listing, the most important thing to do is to take photos of the items you're selling. Make sure you get a few good shots in a well-lit environment with a neutral background to showcase your item from all sides. Likewise, your item's description needs to be very specific. For example, if you're selling a Nintendo 64 game that you have not tested and is lacking the original packaging, you should describe it as untested and cartridge only, as seen in the pictures. By wording your listing like this, it not only informs your buyer as to what they can expect, but you'll also protect yourself from any returns and refunds that would end up reducing your profits. If you have larger items to sell, such as furniture or bicycles that would cost a lot of money to ship, you're best off listing them on platforms like Facebook Marketplace or Letgo for local pickup. eBay also has a local pickup option, but it might take you a bit longer to find a buyer for your merchandise in your area. Garage sale arbitrage summary. Thanks to Gary Vee, we have a clear outline for profitable garage sale arbitrage. First, establish a game plan and map out the locations you want to hit before starting your day. When you arrive, know what to look for, and don't hesitate to do a little bit of research before making an offer. When you do make an offer, be friendly and even silent to secure the best prices. Once you secure your items, list them strategically and be patient to earn the biggest profits. With this knowledge, you might be only one weekend away from becoming the next garage sale arbitrage millionaire. Or if you're looking to make some money with a little less effort, check out our previous video on apps that will pay you money for doing practically nothing. We'll see you in the next one.